respected Professor Remal Samaga, Dr. Sudhir Pai, Professor Surendranath Shetty, Dr. Sridhar Ranganath Pai, Professor Vanitha Maya, Dr. Vishwanath Pai, Dr. Devidas Naik, Professor Malati Devi, Dr. Vijayendra, all my teachers who have gathered here, all alumni, my fellow alumni, invitees, people from media. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you as a proud alumnus of MGM College, studying between 1988 to 1991. I have spoken in several forums, national and international, in various countries, but speaking here is very, very difficult. Because I have to speak in front of my teachers who have shaped me what I am today.
For correction.
Coming back to my life early on, studied in the school as told by Dr. Suresh Shanai, which was built by my grandfather in a village called Neelavar. At that time there were no buses to go there. Till 7th standard I completed my education there. Then later my father was the headmaster there, and later my elder brother became the headmaster. It is a kind of family legacy to give the education to that rural village. So after that I went to SMS Pre-University College in Brahmavar from 8th standard to 2nd PUC. Till then that I was an average student actually. The turning point happened after I joined MGM College in the year 1988. For those 3 years, I rented a room in the house of Professor Vasant Kumar Rao. First 1 year, my elder brother was my roommate, then other people were there. Once he graduated, he is also an alumnus of MGM College, who is one of the top-notch engineers in the Cisco company, based out of US for the last 25 years. He also fondly remembers MGM College and how this college has shaped his future. Coming back to me, the first year BSc was an eye-opener for me. I never used to read more than like 15-20 minutes a day until my second PUC, and an average student. Looking at the dedication of my teachers, I always remember the department of botany was my favorite department actually. The professors from other departments should excuse me. Of course, I really like the chemistry department also, zoology department also, Kannada and English also, but my heart was more closer to the botany department. Professor Rajgopal, Professor Arvind Herbar, Professor Shyam Sundar Bhatt. The dedication they have shown in teaching, in the practicals, and also in mentoring students, that was an eye-opener. I was thinking, when teachers are putting this much of effort, I should spend a little more time. So from about 15-20 minutes studies, I started studying for a little longer, say about an hour or so. So in between, I had some philosophical bent of mind also. One day I caught Professor Arvind Herbar out of nothing, and I asked him a very strange question. Why do we live? He was taken aback for a minute, but he had enough patience to spend with me. He started with the classical explanation of biology. Growth and reproduction are the basic characteristics of life. We are all destined to do this when we come to this earth, and he did not stop there. He continued to give a little more knowledge on his philosophy in life. I don't know how much he remembers about that, but I remember each and every word of that. And that really made me to strike a perfect balance between work, life, and spirituality. There is no day in my life I forget him. So it is there as a constant thing throughout my life. And when I entered this room, I was searching for him. Where is Professor Abad? And finally, I found him and wished him actually. One day I was remembering Professor Rajgopal sir. It was a Friday, and at that time he had a leg injury. He had the dressing in his leg, and he was limping, and he was coming to the department, and he was asking us, tomorrow, that is Saturday, if I were to take a special class, would you students come and attend? We were in tears, and he can hardly walk, and he is saying that he can come and take a special class. Are you guys interested to come? We told him, what are you saying? with such difficulty you will come and teach us. And how can we say that we are not coming? So this is the kind of dedication and sincerity of the lecturers, professors who instilled us those values. There are many more. We had Professor Sundarabhat, Professor Vitala Bhatt, who is sitting here in zoology, Madam Vinodini, Professor Alvin de Souza, Professor Karki, Professor Murli Darbari, Professor Vasant Kumar Rawat, his home I stayed for 3 years, and a few more there, Professor Bhaskarachari. In English, Professor Eman Samaga himself, Pushprata Sandhya, Sandhya Nambiar, all these people. In Kannada, unfortunately in Kannada, I think many of them are no more. Professor Pangala Rambhat, then Professor Panduranga, I think Professor Shivaswamy, and a couple more young professors were there. The dedication in which they used to teach, that really made me to put more effort into studies. So that's a turning point. It is not what they teach, it is the passion in which they teach and the concern they have on the students. That made a lot of difference. After the journey from MGM College, I straight away went to Konaje, that is Mangalore University, took biosciences there, and there's a wonderful professor there, Dr. K.R. Sridhar, under whose guidance I did my PhD studies, and then went to Canada for my first postdoctoral studies. After that, went to New York City, Albert Einstein College of Medicine for the second postdoc. After that, I was absorbed there as a faculty, and I was a faculty there for about 5 years. Then came a turning point. So before leaving the country in 2001, I had promised my mother, in case if there is any need, if you want me back, please give me a call. Wherever I am, I will close down everything and come back and settle in Manipur. It was 2009 December where she gave me a call from Kasturba Hospital, Manipur, after a massive heart attack and many other health issues, and told that you had told this before leaving the country. I am not asking you to come back. I am just reminding you this conversation. If at all you want to come back, this is the time. That was more than enough for me. I told, just give me 3 months. I will close down everything here. It was 5 years after my green card. Citizenship application was there. Both my children were born in the US. I had very good US government grants, and a few people from US, China and other countries were working for me under my projects. And my Jewish boss had generously given half of his lab to me. Ravi, I am very happy with you. I am now getting older. Half of my lab is yours. You please do whatever you want to do in that lab, including the equipments. So that never stopped me to stay back there. So started countdown of 3 months and closed one by one everything. And it was March 2010. I came back to Manipur. When I decided to come back, there were several offers from Bangalore, Hyderabad and other places. But my requirement was to be with the family, to support my mother. And I knew that at least a week per month she has to be in Kasturba Hospital. And then I came back here. There is no place better than the KMC itself, that building itself, to get a job and take care of her. Came here on 29th of March 2010. And then for next 10 years, my office was there in the Shirdi Sai Baba Cancer Hospital. And every month, at least 1 week, my mother used to be in the Kasturba Hospital, and I used to walk and take care of her whichever ward. I came to know about most of the doctors because of my mother, including Dr. Shamsundar, but she had a severe backache and she used to be on sleep and the painkillers 3 times a day, and I had to fly a doctor from Chennai to do the vertebroplasty procedure, which our doctors were not doing here regularly, and which is kind of very risky operation. If they cannot put the bone cement in the right place, the patient can get paralyzed, and if that happens, they can no more walk. But we took that risk and flew a doctor from Chennai, and he did that procedure, and then afterwards she did not take any painkillers. But she had many other diseases, including the cancer, and cancer of breast, cancer of the thyroid gland, many things. So for next 8 years, while doing work in the Statistics Research Private Limited, I also took care of her very well, and in 2018, she was no more. At that time, my roots in New York City were pretty strong, and I was really thinking that whether I should go back. So before I called my people in the US, I got a call. We know that purpose for which you have gone to India has already been fulfilled. If you are wanting to come back, we are ready to receive you. I had one small conversation with my father, a very disciplined school headmaster, that I am contemplating going back to the US. What he told is, I can take care of myself, I am very healthy, you can go, but if you are around, I will be more happy. That's the only statement he told. That made me to completely rethink and then decided to stay back. I always believe if you really want to work hard, any place is good. So then, after this entire 10 years, 2010 to 2020, so the company where I was working decided to move to Bangalore for growth reasons. So that time, I decided to move to Manipal University, that is Mahe. So my interview with Dr. Vinod Bhatt was only 2 minutes. He asked me, what do you want to do? I have two offerings for you. One is to head the research of the entire university. Another one is to start a new vertical, corporate relations, to work with industries. I told, with my corporate experience, let me start a new vertical for Mahe, corporate relations, and became the founding director for the corporate relations. But that was little dry in the sense, emails, phone calls, meeting people, agreements, signing a lot of memorandum, understanding all those things. My science and research was little bit suffering, so I gave a proposal to start a new research center for Mahe, which is called as Manipal Center for Biotherapeutics Research. The budget was about 10 to 15 crores, and that time Vice-Chancellor changed from Dr. Vinod Bhatt to Dr. Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh. So the new Vice-Chancellor told, I am pretty new here. As you know Dr. Ranjan pretty well, can you put a proposal to him? It will be better for me. When Dr. Ranjan came here, I knew him pretty well because all our board meetings used to happen in Bangalore for 10 years, company's board meetings. So the only question he asked is, are you going to lead this research center? I told, yes, it is my passion, it is my proposal. If you fund this one, I would like to start this research center. He told, if you are the person who is going to lead it, I have no further questions. So he funded 10 to 15 crores to start this research center, which is now one of the top-notch research centers in India on biotherapeutics. So there are about 30 PhD scholars working there, about 10 faculty from all over the country, trained, specialized in the biotherapeutics who are working there. Then from corporate relations, I was moved to more core function of the university, which is planning and monitoring. And I was heading that for some time. Then they told that you have a lot of experience in the academics, and we wanted somebody who is in the academics who can also manage non-academic functions of the university. That was a total change for me. I had never supervised the total non-academic functions of a large university. I told, yes, I also want to learn, I also want to change. So almost 12 different directors, be it from purchase, corporate relations, general services, the legal, HR, projects, IT and digital, public relations, all these people started reporting to me. Mr. Chavita knows it very well actually. So this is the entire gamut of this function is very, very vast. Thousands of people will work under all these verticals. Did that for about a year, and then my last stint in Mahe was being the senior director research, taking care of Mahe's research, and our budget was about 1 crore per day, almost 365 crores per year was Mahe's research budget. Among all the private universities in India, Mahe is the one who spent a lot of money on research actually. One of the very premier research centers, or research-centric universities in India. That gave me a lot of exposure again back to the group of managing research of not only Manipal, our branch in Bangalore, and also in Jamshedpur. I used to travel to these locations and take care of the research requirements. I never thought that I would go outside of Manipal. I really thought that I'm going to retire here in Manipal. One fine day I got a call from Chandigarh University that we are looking for a Vice-Chancellor. I told I have never applied. They told, no, we have found out about you from your LinkedIn profile, your publications, some references, all those things. So that's why we are approaching you. Are you interested to come here and lead this university? I told I would like to come and have a discussion there, see the campus and make a decision. So far I have never thought of going outside of Manipal. So they asked me to come. I had a good interaction with the search committee, with the Chancellor of University. So almost 2 hours one-on-one talk with the Chancellor, who is the founder, like Dr. T.M. Pai, who has started this entire thing. I wanted to have an experience working with the founding Chancellor of the University and to learn a little bit from him. He was so happy. He had already interviewed about 10 to 12 Vice-Chancellor's candidates, and his constant dialogue is, I want something better than best. I don't want to settle with best people. So he used to send back the names that comes to him for signing off. So after the interview with me, he called the search committee and told that my search has ended today. Please get in as soon as possible. I wanted to take about 3 months. I had a lot of things planned here, some conferences, all those things. But for their persuasion, I kind of truncated all those things and finished my work here in a month's time. And till 31st October, I was working here and ended it with a good national level conference. And 1st of November was the Karnataka Rajyotsav. 2nd November, I traveled to Chandigarh University, and 3rd November, I took the charge as the Vice-Chancellor of Chandigarh University. We have about 430 private universities in India. Altogether, we have over 1,200 universities in India. In that, about 430 are private universities, including Mahe, Manipal. About 460 universities are state public universities with the state government, like the Mangalore University in Konaje. We have about 125 deemed to be universities and some institutions of national importance. Altogether, this is about 1,200. Among the private universities, which are about 430, Chandigarh University is the number 1 as per the QS ranking for the last continuous 3 years. It is because of that will, that commitment and the vision of the Chancellor. When I got the opportunity to work with the number 1 private university in India, I did not think twice. I thought I am ready for this and I can fulfill the requirements of a large university where 40 to 50,000 students are at the campus. And recently the same group has started one more university in Uttar Pradesh. I thought, let me take up the support and see what I can do with my teaching, research, non-academic experience, corporate relations experience, having worked in a very old university in Canada, which was like 180-year-old public university, having worked in a private university in the US, which is more famous for its medical college, Bangalore University, having worked in a state private university, which is Mangalore University, and having worked in a deemed to be university, which is Mahe, which is number 1 private university as per the NIRF, National Institutional Ranking Framework. I thought now I am ready with all this experience and started this journey. It has been close to 2 months and it is going very well. This is not to boast about myself. In Mahabharata, they say that Atma Prashanasam Marana Sadrasham. If I start boasting about myself, it's as good as killing myself. I really don't want to do that. I'm telling all these things because these things are possible because of the sacrifice, dedication, and the values instilled by the teachers who really shaped me and people like me in this very institution, Mahatma Gandhi Memorial College. Dr. T.M. Pai, when he came back from the Stanley Medical College from Chennai in 1925, he wanted to go to Hong Kong. He had already sold some jewelry of his wife to buy the stethoscope and other things. And when he spoke to his mother, that pep talk between mother and son, don't go abroad. Son, the people of this region, stay back. That one statement made him totally change his intention and stay back. That was the real genesis of Manipal. The struggle that he had when he went and prescribed the medicine. Half of the time the prescriptions used to go to the dustbin. Why? Not that prescriptions were very bad, because people didn't have money to buy those medicine. So he realized this. Then he has to start thinking like a banker. Started Syndicate Bank, the association of other people. Started the pigmy collection scheme in 1928, collecting 25 paisa per household with a simple interest rate of 3.5%. In 7 years, it would give 750 rupees. And also started the 2 annas rather than 4 annas, 2 annas, because he realized the 4 annas is going to be expensive for the household. So 2 anna scheme also he started. And later, I mean, he is a pioneer in all these things. Later, he realized that it is difficult for people to even to give 2 annas because their earning is very, very low. Then he started doing the skill development programs to them, which government of India is shouting in the loudspeaker today. Many skill development and all those things. In 1930s, Dr. K. started in this region. The book binding, the carpentry, the electrical rewinding, very many things for these people. Then he realized this also can earn money to a limited extent. Let me start giving the formal education to the people of this region under the aegis of Academy of General Education, which he instituted in 1942. He started schools, high schools, all those things. With the success of that, in 1949, he ventured to start Mahatma Gandhi Memorial College here. With the success of this college, he started in 1953, the Kasura Medical College, the 29th medical college in India. Hitherto, all 28 medical colleges were run by the government. The first privately sponsored medical college in entire India. Very visionary, much ahead of his time. And I really feel fortunate to study in the college that he has started, in the university that he has started, work for a few years, in the group company which is also under the Manipal. So this entire 15 years in Mahe in Manipal and 3 years in the MGM College is really very, very memorable. That's the reason when Dr. Suresh called me and asked, would you like to come for this? I was thinking this is an honor for me. It is not going to any other function being a chief guest, all those things. It is a homecoming and it's coming to an institution which has given so much to me. And I thought immediately I would come. And when I came to know that Dr. Vijayendra Rao, my good friend, is a program coordinator, I even felt more happy. Today, if you look at our country, we have 147 crore people. We have become number one last 3-4 years in the number of population. And most of them are youth. Almost 65% of them are under the age of 35. But where the country is going, if you look at the per capita income of Indians, it's about 2.2 lakhs per year. If you look at the per capita income of US citizens, it's about 72 lakhs per year, 35 times more. Why this is happening? Are we not good enough? We are definitely good enough. Where is the gap? The gap is the skill gap. This is what Dr. K. had understood in 1930s and started giving whatever skill that he should give at that time. Now the skill required is different. You need various skills, whether it is in the AI or whether it is in the mobility devices, whether it is in other more cutting edge techniques. You need so many other skills today. So once you have the skill, you can get into manufacturing in big companies and you can start earning more. So the country has to focus on skill development, manufacturing infrastructure. Only 9% of the products that are produced in India are innovative. Everything else is got from other countries, and once the patent expires, the generic medicines, all these things, it's all patent expired ones, and all the way of the pharmacy of the world, the innovative share or innovative medicine share of us is very, very low. So the entire country has to spend more money on research and development. If you look at Israel today, Israel spends 6% of its GDP on R&D. South Korea spends about 5% of its GDP on R&D. United States of America spends about 3.5% of its GDP on R&D. And if you look at other European countries, about 2.5%. If you look at India today, it spends 0.64% of its GDP on research and development. Compared to entire budget, although it's a significant amount, that is not enough. There are a few things. We have some good numbers. For example, we are in the 38th position as far as innovation index is concerned in the entire globe. You can use it to pat your back, or you can use it to say that it is not good enough. It is up to the interpretation of the person actually. If you look at China, it has already reached the 10th position. It has already displaced Germany, which was in the 10th position last year. Switzerland, Sweden are enjoying number 1 and number 2 position, and already US has gone to number 3 position. So when we are going to get into the top 10 positions in the innovation, it is going to be possible only when we invest heavily and we prepare the youth for research, development, innovation. India is progressing in that direction. I'm going to be very sure that it is going to be possible in the near future. And college education is very, very important in that step. So there is a saying that in our ancient scripture, Acharya Padamadate Padam Shishya Swamedaya Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya Padam Kala Kramenacha. Only 1/4 of education comes from the teachers in the school. Remaining 1/4 has to be studied by the student by his own efforts. 1/4 by the peer learning, the classmates and other people. And the last 1/4 will come Kala Kramenacha when we start practicing it in the future. So this is something which has happened in MGM College because it has instilled those values. The education of teachers, the extra materials they used to give and ask us to study more and facilitating that environment to discuss with classmates. All those things help us a lot. So at the end of the day, what we need the better health for the people. Our life expectancy is increasing now. When we got independence in 1947, the life expectancy, average lifespan of Indians was about 32 years, life expectancy. Now it is about 72 years. So drastic improvement is there. Living longer is very good, but it is equally important to live healthy. So the chronic diseases are now, so people are being suffered from these diseases for a longer period of time. So that's why people are studying those 5-6 blue zones. So in Japan, there is a small island called Okinawa Island, where 68% of people celebrate their 100th birthday, and they sing, dance, all those things on the 100th birthday. Here you can imagine, at the age of 100, maybe it is very difficult for people to walk. Why it happens? Then a group of scientists went there and studied. So only two things. One is ikigai, that is passion and purpose in what they do. In the United States of America, maximum number of suicides happen on Monday mornings. Why? Because majority of the people don't want to go to the job that they are going. They are going just because they need money to pay the bills, not because they like the job. In this island, people get into the job, they love to do it. They are waiting to go to the job. From their childhood, from the school education, they are studying the branch, the streams that will lead to get that dream job. That is one, ikigai. Passion and purpose in what they do. Second one is, before eating their food, they used to chant a 2,000-year-old mantra, which is called Hara Hachi Bu. What is this Hara Hachi Bu means? Stop when you are 80% full. Stop when you are 80% full. You know our elastic stomach, and even after 100% is full, if some desserts are offered, some fruits are offered, simply it will go in. So it could be 120%, 130, 40, whatever it is. But you know, this digestion process is a very inefficient process. Almost 25% of the energy is required to digest the food that we consume. So too much of eating, the Japanese have told that stop when you're 80%. Whether Japanese will have to tell this to the world? Definitely not. In 2016, Professor Oshomi from Japan, again Tokyo Institute of Technology, got a Nobel Prize for autophagy. What is autophagy? Autophagy is self-eating. The cells which are diseased or cells which are the weak, they will be engulfed or eaten by the healthy cells. That means inside our body, we are non-vegetarians. One cell will eat the other cell actually. Don't tell that we are all non-vegetarians. I don't want to make that statement when my teachers are here. So inside our body, human cells eat other human cells actually. So this is autophagy, and the Nobel Prize was given to the Japanese scientist. So when this autophagy will kick in, when enough extra food is not available, then only healthy cells will start eating the diseased cells or weak cells. So how to induce this? To induce this is by cutting the food intake regularly. So then once this autophagy came out, people started talking about IKS, Indian Knowledge System, the Ekadashi, 11th day. The significance of 11th day is tremendous. The entire autophagy, entire Nobel Prize, everything is based on this philosophy that when you stop eating on that day the healthy cells will start eating the diseased and weak cells and keep not only the body but also the mind very, very clear. So when overeating happens, beta amyloid and other protein molecules will start getting accumulated in the brain, and we get something called brain fogging. And this Ekadashi fasting, whether you are Hindu or any religion, this is not about religion. This is just about the health actually. When it is being done, the entire unwanted stuff in the body and in the brain will be totally clear, and people will start enjoying good health. I really don't want to preach anything here, but definitely we need to inculcate all these things. And the Indian knowledge system that we have, what it has given. Now people are looking back. The NEP, National Education Plan 2020, postulated that please put at least 5% of the Indian knowledge system into the curriculum in the colleges and the universities, and it is being forced by the UGC now. What is the Indian knowledge system? It is not just the religious script. It's also Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Yoga, all the cultural things that we do. What is good, what is relevant today has to be taught to the students. Otherwise, we will be the last link, and they will not know anything about what has been happening before their generation. So when NASA found out the distance between the sun and the earth, and then somebody told, oh, it is already written in Hanuman Chalisa. Yuga Sahasra, that is the saying in Hanuman Chalisa actually. So that is there actually. Yuga Sahasra Yojan per Bharam. It is what the Hanuman Chalisa says. And when you calculate, Yuga is 12,000, Sahasra is 1,000, and Yojana is 8. When you multiply all these things, it is 96. They clearly told it is 96 million miles long ago, which took hundreds of years for NASA to come up with almost same number. There are many other things, very precise movements of the planets. All those things were found out long ago, which unfortunately we did not evidence it, we did not patent it, and everyone else is doing it, including our Ashwagandha, curcumin, all these things actually. If we had to do it first, nobody could shatter India. We would have the wealth of patents. So anyway, so at least now we have to wake up and preserve all these traditional knowledges, all the knowledges our elders used to have. Cutting back, I think I'm taking too much time. Some other sir has already made it very short, and now laid foundation that we have to finish by 12:30. So I have been speaking for 30 minutes. Let me stop in a minute. So these alumni associations of any college like MGM College, it is an opportunity for us to give back. So many times what happens is, when I used to tell in the universities that we have to have a strong alumni association, which is also being reviewed by the NAC and other committees, how strong the alumni association is. Many people stay away from the colleges, thinking that if they go to the colleges, they will ask money. That is not the main intention of the alumni association. There are various ways of giving back to our institution. Be it coming and giving an invited talk to our students, helping them to get an internship, helping them to get a job, or giving a workshop, or participating in a conference and sharing our knowledge. There are many things. So my call to the fellow alumni here is, let us engage more and more. Last year I could not come here for the Alumni Forum because I was not in the country. This is a very nice thing to see, the re-energized Alumni Association of MGM College, and let us see that we will take it to the next level every passing year and contribute a little bit from our side to make it much more stronger. So let me conclude here, and let me thank the organizers of this function for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to come and speak before you. And I'm really humbled by this gesture. Thank you so much, and Jai Hind.